The last day of vacation arrived, and Jay was by himself today. Then two homegirls basically came through, and it was Ruby and Ren. And essentially, Ruby was like, "You're out here all alone today?" And so Jay's like, "Yeah, Konako and the others are planning something, and they wanted me to have some quiet time." And so Ren just like, "That can get lonely, you know? I could keep you company." And so Ruby was just immediately pissed off about this. And so she was like, "So you were trying to get with him?" And so Ruby pushed Ren down and tried to get close to him, but she didn't know what to say in this entire situation. So she was like, "So, nice sweater, huh?" And so Jay just like, "I don't think that's how you charm someone, Ruby." And so anyway, time passes a little bit and they start talking a little bit more. And so Ren just like, "We heard a rumor about that Miku said that someone was gonna die soon. Is that true?" So and Jay was like, "How did you hear this?" "Yeah, that's what basically she predicted." And so Ruby just like, "No one is really gonna die, right? Can't we stop that from happening?" And so Jay just kind of thinks silently and thinks a little bit about what Saki said last time. And so he's just like, "It's not set in stone. She may have seen and called it that someone can die, but it's just a guess into the future. It doesn't have to happen because we are going to change that." And Ruby just like, "Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't lose hope so easily like that." And so Ren just like, "Whatever threat comes our way, we'll have the final say in whatever happens." And so Jay's just like, "Exactly." And so Ruby continues and she's like, "Oh, by the way, Jay, there's something I want to ask you to do." And so he's like, "Hmm?" And so Ruby stands up, she's like, "I want to see how strong you really are." And so Jay's confused, but Ruby just continues on to plead for this man to just show his strength, essentially. And Ren just like, "That was the other reason why we wanted to see you. I never seen your skills and power before, so I want to see it too for myself." And so Jay just like, "To be honest, I'm not fully sure of all the powers I can do. But I can't deny you, beautiful ladies. Alright then, but I need some motivation to do it." And Ren and Ruby already know what's going on. They already know what to do. And so they basically whipped out them titties and spoke in unison, "Show us your power." And so with the titties in mind, Jay basically got to business. And so the two girls sat down and just essentially watched this man. And so Ren was just like, "So have you seen this form before?" And so Ruby just like, "Once, I think. Though I'm not exactly sure when." And then Ruby just like, "He looks so awesome now." And so Ren just like, "So this is purity. He looks so divine now. I almost don't recognize him. This can't be my limit. Come on, go further." Ruby's getting surprised by all this, and she like, "Holy crap! I didn't know he had all that in him." And so Ren was just like, "Not even a tail beast can match this." And so he basically looked up like he's about to rinse and take every single woman that you have. And essentially, he opened his eyes, and as he did, he spread out his lightning a bit further. And as he pushed for one last time to really get that energy out there, and his lightning was so wild that it sparked on Ruby and Ren's asses, just whipping them hoes. So yeah, it had to happen. It had to be that way. Anyway, as he finally started calming his power back down, the power a bit dissipated, and essentially the sky cleared back up. And so he just like, "Well, that was a bit over half of my power. What do you girls think?" And then he just ends up seeing Ruby and Ren in pain because their asses was just redder as hell. Their ass is literally just as red as a whole ass apple, bro. And he just like, let's take a break." And so yeah, basically, man's out here flexing a little too damn hard. Poor asses couldn't handle that shit. Anyway, we get into the next act, and then we end up seeing Jay finally going to the onsen where he was finally invited by Symphony and all the others to kind of just see what's going on, what they was planning for that whole last night and what they was talking about in the last episode. So anyway, Jay basically hits the onsen and he just sees Symphony by herself. And so Symphony's just like, I was wondering when you was gonna show up. And so Jay's like, kind of hard to ignore your invite when you added I'm nude and waiting at the end of the note. And so Symphony just like, and I'm still waiting. So come on. And so she's motioning him to come over there, and he gets over there mad fast as hell. So basically, he joins her, and this is Symphony's first time actually seeing this man's whole ass package, seeing everything that this man has to offer. And Symphony's just like, I can see why Konako snatched you up when she had the chance. I wonder if it'll fit. And so Jay just like, you know damn well it's gonna fit. you know damn well it will. And so Symphony's just like, only one way to find out. And so she basically gets to the damn rock, and so she's like, this is our first time together. So show me that eager side of you. And so essentially, the clapping session starts to, go in. Symphony's losing her damn mind when it comes down to it. All the whole way. Just straight up clapping, just going ham, and finally just nuts inside Symphony because of course he does. Why the hell not? It's no time to be wasting any type of liquid out here. And so essentially, once he finished giving Symphony the goodness, Konako comes through and she's like, finally, now it's my turn. And so Jay just like, Konako? Letting go Symphony, she's just quivering on the damn rock over there. And so Konako just like, you like it? Then come and take it. We are going to devour you all night long. And so essentially, he just go ahead and just start clapping, essentially. But what this ended up becoming was a whole session of just a full night of clapping. Let me just tell you right now, this whole session consisted of 100 different women, each clapped every single person. Just every single person got clapped that day. Doesn't matter who the hell it was. Whether it was Lamine and Farina, whether it was Ruby and Rin, whether it was Shoko and Aoki for their first time, well, at least Aoki's first time, whether it was literally Rias and Madaka getting it in some shape and form and fashion, whether it was Konako again, and whether it was just Blue on the side, it doesn't matter. He blasted through basically 100 different partners that damn night, and that basically concluded the whole ass trip with a final clap session. Just a straight orgy in the onsen. They gotta be cleaning that shit for days. Anyway, while the clapping session is happening all the way over at the beach area and at the hotel and whatever, we go back to the safe haven real quick, and we see Sage just kind of chilling in the library for a second. And so as she kind of chills there, all of a sudden, we see that she was in her sleep mode, right? But then she was caught off guard by something, and something was ripped from her, causing her to go limp and drained. And so that's when we see Shu, who is just already on some demon timing. And she's just like, well now, that was quite easy. For someone created by Eggman, I expected a security measure for you. Guess he's just another dumbass. And so Sage is, out of it completely. And as, Shu is just holding that damn red orb or whatever it is. And so she's just like, stay quiet and shut down for me. I'll take good care of your data core. And so Shu basically just continues. She's like, though in the next 24 hours, I can't say the same for your body. You should be grateful. You will at least be able to say your final goodbyes to him, even if you won't remember him. Anyway, thanks for the intel. And she just basically leaves Sage in that vegetated state, honestly. So she gets outside of the library, and she just starts speaking with her other members through a headpiece. And so she's like, Bayoko, Fu, it's done. I'll be heading back soon once I lead the boy and his whore as a hint. And so basically she walks upstairs toward the council room. But as she does that, someone else is looking at her, stalking her down while Shu noticing. And we see this porcelain skin looking girl that's stalking Shu, keeping a close eye. and just staying mad silent. And I am so excited for this character. Not gonna hold you. Not gonna hold you. Anyway, we finally get done with the whole vacation. Everything is over with that, right? And so obviously the next day they head back out and they went back to the safe haven. And now it's just Jay and Saki kind of just getting back to normalcy and all that sort of stuff, kind of reflecting a bit on the vacation they had. I can already hear the waves calling back for me. And so Jay's just like eager to get wet again. And so Saki's just like, I should be saying that to you considering last night. And Jay's just like, y'all try to freaking drown me. And so as they try to chat, Kiyoshi finally stood in their way and actually, well, kind of arrived in front of them because this is like the first time they see her in good health. And so Kiyoshi just like, it's about time you made it back. And so Jay just like, Miss Saratome, you're okay. And so Kiyoshi just like, never mind me. You need to go to the infirmary. Sage was attacked last night. And after hearing that, Jay rushed to Sage and Saki went to the council room waiting on any type of thing that needs to be waited on for, Sage's condition. And so basically Yukari was also in that same council room as well, and they started chatting up a little bit. And so Saki just like, we literally just came back and now we have to deal with some bullshit again. And so Yukari just like, I know. I was gonna practice my magic, but I guess I'll have to wait for now. And so Jay finally comes back into the room. And so Saki's just like, well, someone ripped out Sage's data core. We need to find it immediately. I already asked everyone to be on the lookout for it, but something tells me someone took it for their own uses. And so Yukari just like, what would someone use that for? And so Saki just like, more importantly, what is a data core? And so Jay basically explains. He's like, it stores information of this world and any changes it has. Much less it stores the personality and being of Sage as a whole. So removing it is just like killing Sage and everything she is. And it's on a timer. If the core isn't placed back in 24 hours within her body, it'll automatically erase all its data as a fail-safe option. And so Saki just like, so we're way behind schedule as it is. And so Jay's just like, yeah, but that's not the only thing I'm worried about. I gave some of my power to her to create new laws for the world and bring over new characters too. And whoever has that core could literally do anything they wanted in this world, besides removing the ones I've already put down. And so everybody starts freaking out. Saki's just like, what? And so Yukari's just like, are you serious? And so she's like, okay, we really need to find that core now. And so Jay just like, true, but something's been bothering me. Whoever has it could already have made whatever law they wanted to, but nothing has been placed yet. Maybe that's not what they want? And so Yukari just like, then what could they need it for? But then that's when they finally met a strange encounter with somebody in that room. And so the voice said, oh, I can tell you if you're so inclined to know. And so Fuli suddenly appears upside down before them, and they are hella confused at who this is. Jay's just like, and who the hell are you? And so Saki's like, not a girl from a dream? Jay's just like, not anyone that I know of. And so Saki's just like, stay behind me, Yukari. And so Yukari very much took that, advice and stood behind Saki. And so Fu's just like, how cute. Name's Fuli, and in truth, I wanted to see our competition. And Jay's just like, our? And so Fu's just like, so you're the kid with the purity powers. Pleasure to meet you. Now if I recall, you want the core, yeah? We was using it to find more info on someone, but I had a better idea. Why not trade information? We can keep the core, and you learn about how big my breasts are. And so Saki's just like, is this a game to you? And so Fu's just like, wait, so you don't want to know? And here I thought you were an actual pervert. And Jay's just like, just tell us what the hell you want. And so Fu just starts laughing. And so Saki just like, start talking or I'll drag you by your hair and knock you out. And so Fu just like, ooh, feisty. Look, since you're so eager to make me call you daddy, me and Pinky for the core, in a fight to test what I'm up against. And so Saki's just ready for the smoke. She's just like, where? A city, north of here. It'll be our playground. And so she vanishes away. And her last remarks with her voice just kind of lingering on in the room, she's just like, it's freshly evacuated, so no excuses. And so Saki just getting mad, frustrated with all this. And so she decided, and she's just like, I'm going to fight her. And so Yukari just like, it sounds like a straight up trap. And Jay's just like, all the more reason why I'm not letting you do this. I'll handle. And while he said that, Saki just immediately cut this man off and just like, I'm not going to lose. There's too much here that is at stake. Even if it is a trap, I'll take it all on. I refuse to let her have her way. And so basically, as she said all that, Saki just starts preparing for the battle that is to come. And so we finally get to the last act, and we see Saki donning her ninja gear, her old ass ninja gear that she had from her own world. And so Jay just like, Saki, are you sure you can handle this? And so Saki's like, is it really the time to be doubting me right now? And Jay's just like, I'm not doubting you. It's just, I just don't want you to take any risks like this alone. And so Saki sighs to herself, and then she faces him. And so Saki's just like, well, sometimes risks are necessary. If I don't, Sage won't come back. And so he just stays quiet for a minute, and Saki continues. He's just like, so she's just like, besides, you created me, so you should have full confidence in me handling myself. And so she basically walked up to him and kissed him and held his hand briefly before breaking away. And so she's just like, I fought tough people before. You know I'm tough too. So I'll be back, alive and core in hand. As the last of the Kagome clan, and someone who has fought by your side, I will not fail. And so as she turns around with that awesome ass boss mask, Jay just basically says, I love you, Saki. And so Saki's just like, I love you too. And so basically she flew off into the air with her blade in hand, headed to Fuli's location. And Jay just basically watched her as she, flies away, but thinking about what Miku had said about the prediction. And Jay just like, please be careful. And that, my friends, is the end of the story. I know, feel like it went kind of fast this time. But basically, it is a little bit of, some setup. Next episode, we'll definitely have some crazy stuff going in. Granted, it's the 50th episode of the entire story so far. So, of course, it has to be a little bit crazy. It kind of needs to be. But when it comes down to it, though, really, a lot of the things that really were just trying to be done with this episode was kind of just getting done with the whole vacation stuff. And kind of just showing that, they can have some fun in downtime as well, even though downtime doesn't necessarily last forever in stories like these. But you kind of get the point. We also got to see more Shu and, her plans and what she wants to do. And then much less, we also got to see the new girl, which if you've been following me for a good minute and you know who, these sort of characters are, you pay attention to some of their introductions, you know who this character is a little bit. You know what she's kind of somewhat about. But at the very same time, you don't know much because I never revealed that much. So very much looking forward to, showing a little bit more when the time comes. And the next thing I need to say is that also the next episode will consist of a battle somewhat for Saki and Fuli to absolutely go at it, which not looking forward to, putting the scenes together because that's a lot of work, but it's going to be worth the effort hopefully at the end of it. But before we actually even do another episode of the main line videos, we're probably going to go back to the origin story and do something with that because I have been already creating some scenes for it. So most likely we're going to get that going and then maybe something else in between that. And then we'll try to head back to, the fight between Saki and Fu that's going to happen. So, just setting some things up in the atmosphere of the story and stuff like that. But hopefully you'll enjoy it all the same. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for you for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification when else. Also follow me on socials and like to donate to the channel. Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's Jay signing off. Have a blessed day.